In the late 1940s, during the height of the Cold War, a group of 5 political prisoners in Soviet Russia were subjected to a top-secret experiment conducted by the Soviet government. The experiment was designed to test the effects of prolonged sleep deprivation on human beings. The prisoners were brought to a secret research facility and placed in a sealed chamber. The chamber was equipped with a two-way mirror, allowing the researchers to observe the subjects without being seen. The prisoners were given ample provisions to last for a month, including water and food that were intended to be enough to keep them alive. At the beginning of the experiment, the subjects were cooperative and seemed normal, but as the days went by without any sleep, their behavior started to change. They became increasingly agitated and paranoid, frequently whispering to the researchers via an intercom system, reporting vivid nightmares and expressing their growing distrust of one another. As the experiment entered its second week, the prisoners' mental state deteriorated further. They began exhibiting signs of severe insomnia, with some of them even trying to stay awake by force. Their conversations with the researchers became increasingly incoherent and delusional. They started to complain about seeing horrifying apparitions, and their interactions became more violent and hostile. By the third week, the prisoners' behavior had become increasingly disturbing. They no longer trusted one another and suspected that the others were hiding something from them. They stopped eating the food provided to them and started to mutilate their own bodies. Shockingly, they seemed to derive pleasure from the pain they inflicted on themselves. As the researchers continued to monitor the situation, they were convinced that they were witnessing the effects of extreme sleep deprivation on the human mind. However, they were ordered to continue the experiment, even in the face of the prisoners' rapid mental and physical deterioration. By the fourth week, the prisoners had descended into complete madness. They screamed continuously, tore apart the padded walls of the chamber, and smeared the mirrors with their own excrement to obstruct the researchers' view. The researchers could only speculate on the horrors that were taking place inside the chamber. As the 30th day approached, the chamber fell silent. Concerned, the researchers decided to terminate the experiment and open the chamber. What they discovered inside was beyond imagination. The prisoners' bodies were found in a gruesome state. One prisoner had torn his own throat out, another had removed his own intestines, and a third had gouged out his own eyes. The other 2 prisoners were still alive, but their bodies were severely mutilated. When the researchers attempted to remove the surviving prisoners from the chamber, they violently resisted, begging to be left inside the chamber and to continue the experiment. They insisted that they needed to stay awake, as they feared falling asleep would result in unimaginable horrors befalling them. At that point, the commanding officers decided to terminate the experiment completely. The surviving prisoners were put out of their misery, and the entire facility was ordered to be destroyed. All records of the experiment were classified, and anyone involved was sworn to absolute secrecy.